Hello, my dear students. Let us start our new chapter, Force and Laws of Motion. In our daily life, push or pull is needed to bring a stationary object into motion or to stop a moving object. So, when we push a chair, it tends to move. Or to pluck an apple from a tree, we pull the apple towards ourselves. So when we push or pull an object, we exert a force on the object. And force cannot be seen, but the effect of force on an object can be seen or felt. So when we push or pull an object in different directions, means force has a direction. And also we can push or pull an object gently or hard. This means force has a magnitude also. So we can consider force is an example of vector quantity as it has both direction as well as magnitude. Now consider a ball lying on the surface of a floor. This ball remains at rest if it is not disturbed. We can move it by pushing it or by pulling it. Now consider a small ball moving on the floor. We can increase its speed by pushing it in the same direction of its motion. Now if we push it in the direction opposite to that of its motion, the speed will decrease. If a ball is moving towards the east and we push it towards the north, then the direction of the ball will changes. In all these cases, we have applied a force on the ball and the ball is accelerated. So we can define force as force is that cause which produces acceleration in the body on which it acts. Now, apart from the accelerating on an object, the shape of the body can also be changed by applying forces on it. Now just consider a rubber ball and place it over the floor. Now place your hand on the ball and press it. What we will find? That the shape of the ball is deformed. Now what are the effects of force? A force or a set of forces can change the state of rest or motion of an object, the speed of a body, the direction of motion of a body, or the shape of a body. So with considering this effect, we can define force also as a force is a physical quantity which causes or tend to cause a motion in an object at rest. Why we are considering it as causes or tends to cause? Means it is not possible that how much force you are applying that will change the motion. It can change the motion or it can tends to change the motion. That's why we can say a force is a physical quantity which causes or tends to cause a motion in an object at rest or changes or tends to change the direction of motion of a moving object or changes or tends to change the size and shape of an object or changes or tends to change the speed of an object. And force is denoted by capital F, and as we already discussed, where force is a vector quantity. Now forces are of two types, balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Now consider a toy car placed on a table. If we push the car towards the east with our left hand, it moves towards the east. And if we push the car towards the west with our right hand, it moves towards the west. Now, if we push the car towards the east with left hand and simultaneously push it towards the west with our right hand, it is possible that the car will remain at rest. And in this case, the two forces balance each other. So there is no acceleration. Now see, these two situations. The first situation is an example of unbalanced force. While the object moves towards a particular direction or it changes its position. And the second situation is an example of unbalanced force. While there is a set of forces, but they are balancing each other and the object is not changes its position. It is not, its acceleration is not produced in it. So now we can define the balanced and unbalanced force as: if a set of forces acting on a body produces no acceleration in it, the forces are said to be balanced. And if a set of forces produces a non-zero acceleration, the forces are said to be unbalanced. Now let us discuss some examples of balanced force. When we try to push a heavy box on a rough surface, it does not move. The applied force is balanced by the force of friction between the lower surface of the box and the surface of the floor. The force of push and force of friction are known as balanced forces. And the box does not move as long force of push is equal to the force of friction. And the box will start moving as soon as the force of push becomes greater than the force of friction. Now let us consider one more example about balanced force. In a tug of war, two teams pull a rope in opposite directions. If the rope does not move in any direction, in spite of the fact that both the teams are applying forces in opposite directions, then the forces applied by both the teams are known as balanced force. Now let us consider one example of unbalanced forces. Now consider a boy drags a box on the floor. Then an unbalanced force is acting on the box. Now the force of pull applied by the boy acts on the box in the forward direction, which is F1. And the force of friction between the lower surface of the box and the surface of the floor acts in the backward direction, which is F2. Now the box moves in the direction of unbalanced force, which is the difference between the two forces. And here F1 is greater than F2. So the direction of unbalanced force will be towards the F1, that is the forward force applied by the boy. And the magnitude of force will be F1 minus F2. Okay. So the box will move in the direction of the pulling force. Now some common forces are contact force, normal force, friction, forces exerted by a spring, forces exerted by a string, and weight. So this much is for today. And in your next class, that is on 5th June, Friday, there will be a short test on your first chapter, that is motion. You just take preparation for your test. And for today, thank you.